What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of Bayou Buzz. I am your host, Brandon Gowins, joined as always by Prep Baseball Louisiana scouting director Alex Armand. Alex, it's been a busy week for y'all in the Bayou State with opening day and everything going on. So, how you doing?
Good, good. It's Wednesday. Yesterday was a little bit of a recovery after
Yeah,
opening day on Monday, and then getting geared up for week one of tournaments starting tomorrow.
yeah. It was, I think I told you yesterday, it was every single arm it felt like y'all posted as one of the top arms in the state. Like, brought some heat on opening day. So, it was really fun to keep up with y'all's Twitter feed throughout the day.
We were fortunate it's how it lined up, and what's funny is a lot of those guys that you saw, you saw on Twitter. I'm going to get to see this weekend again.
Yeah, yeah. That's the fun. That's what makes the opening month of high school season so fun is there's the plethora of games, the tournaments. You can
Yep.
usually get a pretty good feel for a lot of players in a quick time. So
Yep.
before we get into going over opening day, um, let's just knock out some housekeeping items. I know you have a Rising Stars event coming up this weekend, I believe. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, first Rising Stars event of the new year of 2025 at Hineville High School on Sunday the 16th. We're going to check in at 11:30 a.m. and then get going around noon. For 2029, 2030 grads, this is basically our first identifier for our Junior Future Games team this summer. We've got a couple of other Rising Stars events posted on our website that are going to start later in May through the month of June. May add one in early July, depending on how our schedule shakes out. But this is the first chance to kind of get on our radar. And I can tell you that I have a feeling from looking at this Rising Stars roster for this weekend, and what I've heard from some people is we might have some good young players to talk about on next week's episode.
That's always fun. I know you and I really enjoy finding new players.
Yep.
That's almost you get excited about that, just something different and somebody new. So that's probably the most exciting part about the Rising Stars event. So we'll be looking forward to some of that content on Sunday and Monday coming. So,
Yep.
but all right, let's get into the fun stuff. So let's talk about opening day. I think we will start where you were at, correct?
Correct.
You went to Acadiana, um, and probably it was my favorite Twitter video I saw of anybody posted on Monday. So talk us through that game.
Yeah, Turling's Catholic. My preseason pick to go back to back in their Division Two on the select side. And yeah, your guy, your favorite video from opening day, Evan Vincent. Which, by the way, you probably remember on last season that I stumbled. I went to the STM Turlings game last year, and I saw Evan Vincent throw from right field. And I think I told you, like, man, he took some good at bats that night, but like, I want to see him pitch. His arm was really good from the out. Like, this is him. So, yeah, it's kind of cool to see it come full circle. But yeah, Evan Vincent, UL Lafayette commit junior, got the start against Acadiana. He was really good. He's gotten stronger from last year. I think their coach told me he's put on probably 12 pounds over the off season. But as you can see, like there's still room, to add more in the future. Throws just from the stretch right now. It was 86, 88 early, and then settled in like 84, 87. Slider, whenever he really got it out front and stayed on line, it was good. The other thing that was impressive is the changeup has gotten way better from last year and is now an actual real third pitch, especially to right-handed hitters. So Evan was really good, and he creates a tough look, that
Yeah.
crossfire,
Well,
right?
it's
Like,
just easy to envision what he could do right away in college.
Yep.
Like worst case scenario, like situational lefty from those angles and just tough A B and then work into something more, but it hits a little earlier than you're hoping. And like you said, if a change up, now it's tough angle with a 3 pitch mix, and that's a starter. So
Yep.
like that one's pretty exciting just because there's a lot of roles you could see him fitting.
That's right. And it's such a, like you said, it's such a different look as well. Like he's got good stuff, but it's also a different look that you don't see every day. And you could tell that like it was an uncomfortable at bat. So he'll
Well,
lead.
I think that's the best pitching staffs generally. Like the really good staffs don't just build velo; they build different looks. They'll have the velo, they have the low slot lefty, a low release righty, things like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. So he was really good. And then the guy that came in after him, this Turlings team, like they're going to be good not only this year, but the next couple of years because it is a bunch of young talent. A sophomore right-hander, Lincoln Guillory, who we saw in the preseason, saw him last summer, 6'3", 215-pound physical kid. He was up to 88, sat 85, 86, flashed a slider a couple times, but I mean, he's really just going after those guys with his fastball. So he's a good young arm that we're definitely going to keep watching out of Turlings. And then the last guy from that game, he was my personal favorite. And it's because I remember last summer at one of our Louisiana Summer Championship tournaments here in Southwest Louisiana, I saw this little left-handed hitter for the Acadiana Cajun summer team leading off. And like all he did was take good at bats last summer. And I show up on Monday and he's hitting leadoff for Turlings. I'm like, oh, there's Caden Chavis. So yeah, sophomore center fielder, really good runner. Again, like I said, all this kid does, it seems like at least every time I'm there, is take good at bats. He went 1-for-1 with 2 walks. And his 2 walks, I think both at bats, he saw 8 pitches, right? So like he works the count. And then he laid down, I mean, just a beautiful drag bunt for a hit, and we got him at a 4.02 down the line here. So pretty good runner as well. He was a personal favorite of mine from that game. So Turlings ended up winning 11-1. It was a impressive statement win on opening day.
feeling good about your preseason prediction after one day.
About that one for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I think was it Leary that was at Letcher Parkview Baptist? So Tyler went to Letcher and Parkview. A lot of names rolling out on social media that I feel like you and I have discussed a lot the past year. So walk us through that one.
Yep. Letcher Parkview. This was a good game last year. It went 13 innings this year, and Parkview walked it off. Henry Beckers hit a single in the 6th hole to win 1-0 in the bottom of the 13th. But I think we talked about it on last episode, and I called this. This game was always going to be about the pitching. It was going to be a low-scoring game. It's because there were so many good arms. For Letcher, Marshall Luke, he earned the no decision, but he, threw 7 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts. Fastball was up a tick, 90-92, bumped 93. And he was just the same guy that he always is, that he's been his whole career, at Letcher. He fills up the zone with 3 pitches and he competes as hard as anybody. So it's kind of a tough no decision for him on opening day. And then Parkview rolled out 3 straight arms that, again, we've talked about a bunch, but they were all really, really good. So the 2 UL Lafayette commits at the top. Cade Durbin got the start, former Future Gamer. Went 5 innings, gave up 1 jam job hit, no runs, no walks, 7 punch outs. Fastball was 87, 89. Then showed the breaking ball with close to 3,000 spin. Didn't even really use his changeup. Cade, as you can see there, like when Cade went up in the zone, he got swing and miss, and he did a good job of locating to the glove side. Second guy that came in, Logan Sorrell, former Future Gamer, top uncommitted arm. in our state's 26 class, up to 92, sat 88, 91. He threw 3 shutout innings with 4 punch outs. And they, he was the second guy to go. And I'm sure Parkview was thinking like, okay, Logan's going to throw 2 or 3 innings. We're going to score a run. And, this thing's going to be over. But that's not how it ended up working out. So after Logan, they had to go to Sammy Mitchell. He'll see here, another UL Lafayette recruit, senior. And Sammy's a guy I know me and you have talked about. Like I go back to last season whenever Sammy beat West Monroe and you saw his video from that game and you really liked him. Sammy's just like been on this upward trajectory ever since that, last season, really. On Monday, he was up to 93. I think Leary said he hit it 6 or 7 times and never got below 89, but pretty much sat 90, 92 for 5 innings and gave up no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 punch outs. I mean, like it was electric. So their staff, coach, over those 13 innings pitched, they gave up 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 22 punch outs.
Is that good?
I think that's pretty good. And that's my pick for Division III select.
That's fine. That's why we went on this deep tangent there. Yeah, when you watch Mitchell's video, I don't know how to. Sometimes when you watch a kid's video posted, you feel the confidence they play with.
Yep.
It's like when you watch Mitchell pitch, you're like, yeah, I feel like that. I want that guy pitching for me.
Yep.
I kind of feel like he knows he's gonna win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
he was really good. They were all good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was fun keeping up with all that. So those 13 inning games are a blast early in the year. Once you get into the 10th week, you're wanting those hour and 45 1-0 games. But
yeah.
Well, that's really. Oh wait, we have one more game, right?
Yep.
We had what, Thibodeau?
Yep.
Is that right? Thibodeau and Fontainebleau?
Yeah, Thibodeau and Fontainebleau. It ended up being a good game for Davis Johnson, our other scout, to see. Fontainebleau came back, won 4-3. So good game. Big reason that I wanted to have somebody at that game is because our number 1 player in the freshman class, Tanner Conley, got the start on opening night for Fontainebleau. We've seen his velo a little better. Like I think we've seen him up to 86, 87. He was 82, 85 on Monday, but I mean, like you can see here, I mean, he's 6'3". He's going to get bigger and stronger. Tanner does a good job of driving that fastball in on the hands of righties. And he really didn't have to use his slider a whole bunch, but when he did, it was pretty good. And I think he only gave up 1 earned run in his 3 innings. They limited his pitch count, struck out 4. So it was a solid opening day start, and just the fact that Fontainebleau gave the ball to a freshman, right? Like that shows you, how good of a player he is and is going to be. So Conley was good. Yeah.
I just got word that our number 128 left-handed pitcher is going to get the opening day start also. So
yeah, it sounds like he may have a super tough matchup too, which I'm sure we'll get into on your episode.
Well, I was actually talking about the LSU commit, Esquivel.
Oh, Esquivel.
Yeah, Tate's the number 2.
So you'll have both of them.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good point.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Way to put that. That's that critical thinking skills right there.
Yeah. So, look, Conley was good. And then the other guy, Brody Trosclair, the senior lefty for Thibodeau, he actually came in relief in that game because I think he cut his finger like around Thanksgiving, just kind of like a little freak accident and is still healing up. But Brody was really good, man, in relief. Up to 91, which I believe that's a new personal best for him. For sure, before Monday, we had never seen him above 88. So he was 89, 91 in his first inning, and then he settled in at like 85, 88. his second and third inning. He's another guy that really knows how to spin the baseball as well. Gets up over 3,000 RPMs on his curveball. He's going to Northwestern State. And I think whenever they committed him or got him, I felt like that was a really good get for them, and it's certainly turning out that way. I think he's got a chance to pitch early in Natchitoches for the Demons.
Yeah, another one. You kind of look at the video, like, yeah, I could see him doing some things,
Yep.
a couple different roles early, because yeah,
Yep.
it looks like he can really spin it, which that's not something a lot of lefties are able to do right now.
That's right.
There's a problem with that. So
yeah. So yeah, look, Coach, it was a good. 3 games. We got 3 good games, and we saw a bunch of good players on opening day.
yeah, a lot of good arms. Usually arms are ahead of bats, so the bats will come. And I know, like, just transitioning into this weekend, I know personally there's a lot of bats coming from Texas to play against some of y'all's teams, and then I know some of the big name bats in y'all's state is also in those games. So I think the offense is coming.
Yeah, the offense should be coming this weekend. And like you mentioned, I think the 2 Texas teams that are coming to this opening weekend tournament in Southwest Louisiana, Beaumont Kelly, right?
Ooh, I could have given you, I can talk about them enough for you too if you want.
Young, right? Young,
Young,
talented.
but not just like, yeah, we can definitely talk about Kelly real quick when we get to it. I forgot about them.
Yeah. So this opening weekend tournament is going to be really good here in Southwest Louisiana. It was good last year. We had Flower Mound obviously come down. This year, the two teams from Texas, Beaumont Kelly, Lutheran South Academy. And tomorrow I'm going to be in for a treat for sure, because I'll get to see Lutheran South against Barb at 4, and then I'll get to see Live Oak Barb at 7. Live Oak, obviously Louisiana team, but
Yep.
Look, I wasn't even planning on doing this, but look, Coach, I've got some videos here ready to go of, I don't know if you call them the big 3 or whatever for Lutheran South, but like Cerna, Cantu, Walker, like,
Ooh, yeah, I can talk about,
that's
yeah. So obviously Cerna is going to be the big, I was just going to say, just pull up area code video and you'll see the biggest raw power in the class the last 2 years at area code. He's hit balls over 100 miles an hour to every part of the field at Blair Field and Cali. And it's also a plus arm behind the plate. There's
okay.
some people that wonder long term if he's going to catch, but it's not because of arm. The arm's really, really good. And he can hit. And then Jalen Walker is a feature gamer for last year. And like you can see in this video, like that's pretty electric bat speed. And I think he got to 103 and it was just constantly over 100, sub 7 runner. And he's already got 2 pumps in his first week of baseball in private school. And then Marcus Cantu came to state games this past fall. And this was really the first time I got him up close. And that's a ball of energy. Going to Texas, can hit from the left side, played a really good short, and then it's constant bounce. Like he's a guy you could tell you would want on your team. So those 3, and they have a couple of like Victor Coronado going to Texas State. I've talked to you briefly about Wyatt Powell, who I don't know if that's who's going to pitch. If I had to guess, I think he'll throw against you, and he should touch 90. He'll somewhere between 91 and 93. He'll probably get up to. So that would be a really good test for Barb, I think.
I think it's going to be an excellent test for Barb out the gate. And look, more specifically and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just guessing that Barb's probably going to send their sophomore left-hander to the mound, Lawton Littleton, who went 8-3 last year as a freshman. He is now the guy for that pitching staff this year. Saw Lawton back in the fall in November get up to 89, pitched 84, 87. But the thing with Lawton is he can really locate it to both sides of the plate. He can go up with the fastball when he needs to with 2 strikes. He can land the change to righties and lefties, and he's got a pretty good breaking ball as well that looked better in the fall. So you'll have that Texas, Lutheran South offense versus, shoot the top left-hander in our state's 27 rankings for that first game tomorrow at 4.
And a kid that pitched a lot as a freshman that you learn how to pitch because the stuff when you're a freshman's not elite yet. So like
That's right.
that guy knows how to win on just pitchability and command and things like that. So those are the guys when every year they get that much better because the stuff starts to tick up to match the pitchability they learned when they were young. So that's a really fun matchup. I'm pretty jealous of that one, to be honest.
That's going to be a good one at 4, but then at 7, right? 30 minutes after.
Oh yeah, this one's got a lot more probably emotional juice to it.
Right. And if you remember last year when they played, they went, I think it was 9 innings. Diego Corrales, who's now at McNeese, hit a walk-off home run to win it. And it's always a really good atmosphere. Both those teams compete.
Chirpy.
Chirpy. Yep, it's chirpy. Jesse Cassard, the head coach at Live Oak, he used to coach at Barb. He actually coached me. So him and Glenn know each other real well. It's a chess match back and forth. It's going to be that same type of game. But the only difference is this year, again, I believe Jesse's probably going to send his guy to the mound and Sawyer Pruitt, the senior who's going to UL Lafayette. Sawyer was up to 92 last spring. I didn't get a chance to see him over the fall. But heard good things. He's a big-bodied righty, throws strikes, he competes. That's going to be a fun game under the lights.
Who are you picking?
Oh, you put me on the spot now.
Of course I am.
Oh man, I don't know, Coach.
No, that's not gonna fly.
All
right, okay. So you think
I don't know because I don't know who Barb's throwing. That's
but all right, let's guess. You guess who's throwing game 1 against Lutheran South, so you can't tell me you don't have an idea because you have an idea for throwing the other game.
Right.
I think that's you just trying not to answer the question.
If Littleton throws the Lutheran South game, Barb throws their 2-3, whatever, one of the other guys, and Live Oak does end up going with Pruitt. That's their guy. Barb's offense is good. They're going to be good.
It's really good.
It's a good offense. They're at home. If this game was at Live Oak, I'd probably take Live Oak. It's at Barb.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Have you ever not picked Barb when I've asked you something Barb related?
Yes, last year, state championship.
Okay, just
our
making
podcast.
Sure. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I picked West Monroe, and they proved me right.
I forgot. I just had to make sure that Barb homerism wasn't on full effect.
It's gonna be a close. It's gonna be a 1-2 run ball game. I can promise you that. Either way.
Okay.
So yeah, we got some good. And look, like you said, Beaumont Kelly's gonna be here.
They have a sophomore who I have not seen yet. That's up to 91, 92. Casey Reedy.
Can we find out when he's throwing?
I will. I'll send Coach Tyner a text, and then they have a senior uncommitted arm, Jude Mondello, who I was not familiar with until preseason All-State at Rice, and he was 84, 87, but it was in and out, up, down, strikes. The pin was pretty professional. Everything was executed. You can tell he's a guy that probably wins a lot of high school baseball games, and he's going to throw harder. He's not his frame. He's very projectable. And then the Reedy kid plays short when he's not pitching, but they have another sophomore who's up to 88, 89 that plays second when they're both on the dirt, but he'll slide over to short, I imagine, when Reedy's pitching, who I thought he took probably top five in and out at that event, which had some P5 shortstops. He was up to 88. And then Tyner Sons, like, he ain't physical yet, but he's going to be at the bottom of the order.
Good
And
runner, I think,
good
right?
runner. And then there's two other guys on that can really play. They had like six guys at our event, and they were all good. So I know I'm drawing a blank on a couple of names. So I I'm a lot higher on them than I was be, before January, just because I didn't know them. So I'm super excited for you to get to watch them.
Interesting. Yeah, I should have told all this talk about Luther and LSA. Like, yeah, go my
Like yeah,
Kellys.
yeah. I know this year they're going to be good, but the next couple of years, when the 27s are seniors, I just have a hard time seeing them not be the favorite to win private school state in Texas
Yeah,
for that group.
yeah.
So I'm excited for that for y'all. And then before we get out of here, really, I know y'all have last year y'all really leaned into game of the week and it took off. So this year we have our first game of the week coming up. And I think you've already announced it on social
Oh
media.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so let's walk us through that one.
Yeah. Yep. Catholic #1 team traveling up north to West Monroe to face the #2 team. It was our week 1 game of the week last year. They played a 3-game series. They're doing the same thing this year. Catholic swept them at home last year, which was surprising. But I think that was telling of how good that Catholic team was, going to be. It was some foreshadowing. I'll be shocked if there's a sweep this go around. Um, what I'm really there's a couple things I'm really interested to see with both of these teams. So with Catholic High, we talked about Barb's offense. Catholic High's offense is probably equally as good as Barb's. Like I would probably say those are the two best offenses in the state. It's what is Catholic High's pitching staff going to look like without William Schmidt, Ryder Luke, Trip Dobson? Like those were three guys that pitched a lot of meaningful innings last year. So really interested to see how this Catholic staff does this year. Lucas Lawrence, Jake Tompkins, Mills Richardson, and those guys, how they do against West Monroe's offense. The one thing we know about West Monroe is they probably have, as far as starting pitching, they're 3 starters with Drew Ferguson, Braden Cupid, and Garrett Fry is probably they're as good as anybody. Them and Parkview Baptist are up there. Ferguson here. I mean, this is from the semifinals last year. He was up to 88. He's pitched in big games his whole career at West Monroe. He's won 2 state titles, 28-4 record, 1.61 career ERA. I'd be willing to bet a lot of money they give him the ball tomorrow night in game 1 for the opener. And then you'll follow up with Cupid most likely in game 2 and Garrett Fry in game 3. So there's a lot of new faces in that West Monroe lineup. They lost the big 3 plus Isaiah Shivers, who's now at ULM, and those guys that were role players last year, like they're the guys now. So it's gonna be a great week 1 game of the week, just like it was last year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. So y'all be there tomorrow, or what day will y'all be there, or all, or?
So the original plan was we're going to be there for tomorrow and game 2 on Friday. But what West Monroe, the plan is right now is because of the rain coming in, I think on Saturday, is they'll play game 1 tomorrow and they may go doubleheader Friday. So if that happens, then we see all 3.
That'd be cool.
Worst case, we see the first 2.
Is it up in West Monroe?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't going down south. I may say I'd join y'all there.
Right?
But
Coach, I'm going to get you some good Texas action over here, too. I'm excited.
I need it. It's, I don't have it. having to do the JC stuff. So I'm super pumped. I I can say this one because it's yours. It's no, I'm more excited for you to watch Kelly Catholic
That's
just
the team.
just because of the young guys, the
Yeah.
young guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but LSA will be fun with that lineup. Whoever pitches for Barb, like they'll be a good test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell, we'll say it'll be interesting. Can't choose lefty, but all the power's from the right side. So you've thrown the
Oof.
Little John. So like
If Littleton
that's
throws, it could be
I'm just
okay.
saying like that matchup wise with Cerna and Jalen and Coronado and that's some thump from the right.
That's true. I didn't think about that. I mean, look, coach, I don't without getting into specifics, now I'm kind of curious. Like, I mean, like LSA, are they like a Lutheran South? They're gonna be like a title contender, state title contender in Texas, or
Uh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
like they got a shot.
For private school, yeah.
Okay. Private. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think this year if Prestonwood in Dallas is up there,
Yep.
I'd be lying. I would have to check to see if they're in the same division. But Prestonwood and the Lutheran South's the best South Texas private school this year.
Okay.
Concordia Lutheran is still
Yep.
good. We've talked about them for years, but Traeger's at TCU now, and they've lost some players the last couple of years. Petrovic's now a sophomore at Auburn, so
Mm-hmm.
you lose those type of players, but they still got Ronan up the middle and a couple others. So I would say LSA is a top five private school in Texas, probably closer to three than five.
Okay. Fair.
So it'd
Yeah.
probably be Prestonwood, Liberty Christian, LSA, and Concordia in top four. I'm probably putting LSA ahead of. I'd probably say they're second if I just did that quick in my head. They're the second
Okay.
best private school in Texas.
Yeah.
And
So
Kelly
they're
Catholic's probably fifth.
no
And
joke
they may be like third by the end of the year if all the young guys. Like I'm that high on the young guys.
on the young guys. Wow.
I mean, you're talking about a number one, a senior that's going to be mid to upper 80s, and then if the read like is a sophomore up to 91, 92. So it's like, yeah, I'm actually glad you brought them up today because I'm doing ranking updates and that one needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Uh, well, look, let me know if you find out when Reedy's throwing. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I'll get y'all. I'll get you all the pitching matchups for you.
Yeah, they got some good games. Beaumont, I think they play Sulphur, Parkview Baptist. They don't play Barb. I wish they did now. They play Live Oak.
Good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So each one of them plays 4 games, 5 games, 6 games.
So what's interesting, like Barb's playing 4, Parkview Baptist is coming over here. They're only playing 3. I think it's 3 or 4.
I was just saying whether are we going to set the odds on over under on wins. So if it's 4 each, 8, I would say is it going to be over 4.5 or under? I would take the over.
Yeah, I mean,
It just means I think the Texas boys will have a winning record.
we'll have a winning record. So I think they're the only 2 Texas teams. I need to go look and see if they're both playing 4 or 3. I see what you're saying. Like if they're both playing 4, are they going to go
So
5-3 or 3-5?
or 4-4. I think they go 5-3.
Yeah. I mean, with the way you're talking, I mean, like they're
Oh,
good, right?
yeah, I don't know as much about the LSA pitching. That's the thing. I think I feel good about the Powell one,
Yeah.
but I don't know as much about that. I just know they hit baseballs.
Hey, fair enough. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited to follow y'all on Twitter this week.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow, early.
4 o'clock? Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this week. Next week we will, I guess probably about the same time every week moving forward. We'll revisit your rising stars and go over some of your standouts. But other than that, we'll just talk about the games you saw and preview the ones that are coming up.
Yeah, it'll be a good. Yeah, next week will be a good recap of this weekend. So, yeah, that's all I got. This was a good one.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, thank y'all guys.
Yep. Thanks, y'all.